AITA for telling my DIL what grandkids because she isn't giving me any. I am a young mother-in-law. My son got married around 4 years ago. They have been trying a long time for a kid. She is infertile. We get along like water and oil. To make it simple, the best way I have found to deal with her is to keep topics really neutral. We are basically the opposite in everything. The opposites attract isn't true on this case. Here is my biggest issue with her. If she sees me doing something she doesn't like or doesn't approve of, she will drop the line of "you better change or you won't see the grandkids." When it came out she was infertile, it got so much worse. Some examples. I was eating junk late at night, the line came up. I mentioned liking private school more than public, and again that line pops up. I was going to vote for the Green Party, that line came up. It's every time. I have already talked to my son about it and her directly. Now we were out at dinner and I was paying. The service wasn't the best, so I did a 15% tip instead of 20% or higher. She saw it and she made the comment, "You should be more generous or you won't see my kids." I snapped and told her, "What grandkids, since you aren't giving me any?" She started crying. My son is pissed and I am wondering if I should apologize. Also, I know I will get comments about adoption or IVF. They are against both of those since IVF isn't natural and adoption is buying a kid. All their words. NTA, if she wasn't being such an asshole and so stupidly manipulative about kids she knows she can't even have, then she wouldn't have gotten such a response back. You know you're infertile. You know kids are a low chance. And still you want to use that as your way of manipulating someone into acting how you want them to act? That just seems unintelligible to me, and like you're asking for a reality check. Which is exactly what OP gave her. Was OP's comment mean? Yeah, but it was also a reality check that DIL needed to hear because of how she was acting. So emo OP gets a pass because she never would have made that comment if DIL wasn't being such an insufferable, manipulative shrew. Info: why does she keep dropping the grandkids line? Based on what you are saying, it seems so bizarre. NTA, why on earth is your son letting her talk to you like this? NTA, a woman I drink with at the casino bought herself a replacement grandchild. It's one of those real babies. When her daughter-in-law did the "you can't see the kids cause you have a different opinion," she took it to Disney World and sent back pictures. Christmas time tree presents from Santa. Her son hates it when his friends ask him how his sister is. NTA, being infertile doesn't give her the right to be an a-hole without consequences. I would tell them you'll apologize as long as she does too and stops with the stupid threats. She was practically asking for a low blow with her nagging comments. NTA, kids are an off-limits topic to most. Simply out of respect. Her constant bringing up the fact is how this topic even got put on the table. It's also fine to not like someone. What is not fine is throwing our arbitrary and meaningless threats covered in cheeky one-liners versus setting real boundaries. If she felt like you were so awful, it is entirely possible to have neutral relationships, where you spend time with your son and her only on special occasions, where everyone can remain civil. Marrying or birthing someone does not mean you love and connect with every single person in their lives. And that's perfectly fine. NTA, she can't constantly use non-existent grandkids as leverage against you then get upset when it blows up in her face. How obnoxious of her. I was completely ready to say YTA by the title because infertility is horrible and really causes a lot of pain. After reading all the time your DIL is saying stupid things like "you better change" or "can't see the grandkids." NTA, she can't continue to threaten over and over something that she doesn't have. What the hell is wrong with her? She says this over staying up late, snacks, and the way you want to vote? NTA. She is weaponizing hypothetical kids as a means to control how you vote, how you eat, how you spend your money. That in itself is disgusting. Meanwhile, she can't even have kids. You tried talking to your son about it, and she kept at it. Frankly, I would have said the same thing. NTA. She sounds exhausting. The fact that she feels it's okay to speak to you this way, and your son isn't doing anything about it, it's not a good sign. Threatening to withhold non-existent grandkids because you left a 15% tip versus a 20% tip on a meal you treated them to shows she's entitled at the least and a bit of an idiot with no manners at the worst. If someone's paying for my meal, I just say thank you. NTA. And wow, she sounds annoying. Threatening to hold her kids hostage in a way because you two see things differently. I don't even know her and I'm annoyed. I mean, I'd take the opportunity now to go very low contact with them since she seems to believe that making you get in line is through blackmail and insults. NTA. NTA. If you want to keep the peace, you can apologize for snapping at her. Not for what you said, but how you said it. Tell your son, again, that you and his wife may not get along all that well. But there's no excuse for her being so antagonistic. She's free to dislike your preferences, but her consistent threats and discourtesy needs to stop. Should he ever have children, you are willing to respect their choices and boundaries with regards to the kids' dietary restrictions. No late night eating, school choice, clothing choices and so on. However, her insistence on trying to control your everyday expression of preferences, personal choices that affect no one but yourself, whether or not you vote for one of the big two, etc., by threatening access to future grandchildren is not only inappropriate, but has become wearisome. She needs to eliminate that phrase from her vocabulary. Her insistence on unnecessary provocation is concerning. If she cannot say something polite, then she shouldn't say anything at all. NTA. Don't start none. Won't be none. She makes constant digs at you and holds non-existing kids from you as a threat. If she's infertile, does that mean she's planning to adopt or get a surrogate, then withhold those kids from you for some perceived slight in her eyes? And where is your sin in all this? Why isn't he shutting her down when she gets all nasty like that? Edit. Never mind. I didn't see the end about surrogates and adoptions and their opinions on them. So where in the blue hell would a grandkid come from? I'm confused. NTA. She was just asking for that comment. Wow. Granted, this is narrated from your perspective, but as written, NTA. She shouldn't be trying to control you. Grandkids are not a bargaining chip, and it was really stupid to bring them up if she is sensitive about not having any. Oh, and taking a piss at someone who is hosting you is super rude as well. NTA. Perhaps being out of control of her own fertility and unwilling to do anything about it, such as IVF or adoption. She is trying to establish control by dictating your life and choices. Her comments are all about controlling your actions, while using these hypothetical children as the key reason. What else would she use to try and control you over time? NTA. She should not be holding grandkids as a bargaining chip just because she does not agree with you. Your son has to put a stop to this, because if and when you do have grandkids, this relationship is not healthy. She is going through a lot and should speak with a therapist about her feelings instead of lashing out towards you. I do think you should apologize, as it is a sensitive topic for her. But she is the asshole here. NTA. She volleyed the topic into the conversation. You only spiked it. NTA because for every disagreement she has about you or something you do, she constantly uses her future child, Ren, as a weapon to make snarky remarks or to try and force you to her way of thinking or doing things. It wasn't a good thing to say, but FFS. One can only take it for so long before they snap.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.